What is it that makes a cowboy? It's not the boots or the buckle. It's not the chaps. It's not the jeans. It's not the lasso or the cattle. Not the horse or the saddle. You might think they're all long gone, but you don't need a hat to be a cowboy. A cowboy isn't too busy to lend a hand to a partner. Not too proud to take one either. And when they get knocked in the dirt, bloodied and trampled, a cowboy dusts themselves off and gets back up. And they'll stand by their partners and challenge those who have it all. And they'll keep riding till they find their peace.
Hello. How's everybody doing? I hope yous are all well. Spitfire Nog, wonderful to see yous both at this late hour for ye, this early hour for me. Sneaking in a few hours before work. We're doing Thronebreaker, the Witcher series, which I think actually might shock some people to know, but I think just in terms of the scope of storytelling and everything in it, might end up being a strong contender for my game of the year. It's really good. Shockingly so. Neddy, wonderful to see you too. I hope you're having a wonderful night for you, I guess. Morning for me, early morning for me, but night for you guys. I hope all's good. I was sneaking in a quick pre-work stream. There were two different streams I wanted to attend today, and they kind of made scheduling difficult. One is for Corey, and the other one is for Violet. Both of whom had their birthdays just Saturday gone by. Both wonderful streamers. I strongly recommend checking out. Hope I'm doing well. I'm doing well, Neddy. I slept all weekend, which is pretty much what I needed. Still a little groggy, but I'm sure I'll shake that off with the help of Sonic G Fuel. Or Knuckles G Fuel, more accurately. But yes, we have a schedule for the coming week done as well. Full week of streaming this week. We're gonna have Shadow of Mordor today, later Monday. Saints Row Tuesday, Neo Wednesday, Thursday to be confirmed, but there'll be something. Friday will be on to Enter the Matrix. Saturday is going to be Sonic Adventure. We'll start doing the Metal Sonic emblems. Final Fantasy XIV. I'm excited for Final Fantasy XIV on Saturday. I do believe we'll get... I don't think we'll get Heavensward started, but I think we'll just get right up to it. So that'll be good. We'll be making some nice progress there. On Sunday, I'm assuming I'm not going to get this finished this morning. Sunday will be Thronebreaker again. So that's what's on the agenda. That is what's on the agenda. Alright, I think without further ado, let's get into her, shall we? We'll break some thrones or whatever. Alright. Boom, boom, boom. But yeah, as I said, this is up there for my game of the year, based on what I've played so far, is Thronebreaker. It's very, very good. If you can get past the card gameplay, which I know some people can't, but if you can get past that, I think the story is very, very deep and rich and interesting and rewarding and full of twists and turns. So we'll see what kind of, we normally do longer streams on Thronebreaker, but we'll see what kind of progress we can make in a shorter stream.
Can't eat proper.
Dunno, not sure I like that. What if he runs for it? He's worth a heap of coin.
Ah, bollocks. Been all in him a week, hasn't tried a thing. Why he up and bolt now? Matter of fact, got to thinking. What did a sweet, gentle chap like him do to get the Queen of Zericania so riled?
She's a shrew, that's what. Queen and witch in one. Worst of both worlds.
Enough about her. What do you say to one more of your tales? While we toss down some cards.
Ah, why not? And since you mentioned one queen...
Natty, how are you? Good morning. You're welcome to this morning's cabaret. Hope you're well. Alright, we will continue. Appreciates the lurks, Nettie. Almost 1 AM your time. Not too bad. That'll be early in Fericho land, but right. So I left myself here because we were going down this way, and I figured I couldn't get lost. So that is good. So we have this, another one of these monument things down here. We're going that way eventually, but we'll want to explore out all this area first. This is our entire map. We've been through a chunk of it. We'll see how far we can get. We'll see how far we can get today. It's getting darker. To the Witcher 2 game. I can't, I don't know about those games, Nadia. I haven't played them myself. I put up a intended play order for the Witcher games on Discord, and it's gonna be this. There's another Gwent-based story game, believe it or not, that I found out about, so I added that in, then Witcher 1, Witcher 2, Witcher 3, so it'll be a while. I've never heard anything about the Witcher games being super difficult. I think they do have adjustable difficulty though.
Meve rode at the front, her eyes fixed on the ground, and thus spotted the pit masked by leaves and branches. She tugged hard on her reins and steered her mount to the side. Alas, the cavalryman behind her did not follow her lead. Leaves rustled, boughs snapped, and the horseman crashed to the pit's bottom, snapping his neck. Moments later, it was clear who'd set the trap, when the forest came alive and a cry rang out.
Alright, we're getting ambushed again. Shorten battle. Okay, let's see what we got. You feel it'd be like Skyrim and very difficult. They're long games, I know that. They're not short.
It's a trap! Rally to me!
Okay, not our best ever set of cards, but we'll make do.
My spirit's willing and how, but these damn boots are killing me.
Ah!
Wise choice.
You mad? Don't shake that!
This could hurt.
Is that why?
Oh, what is all this? Oh, I don't like this at all.
Order!
What does this guy do? Same.
Your life is mine now. Yeah, yeah!
I don't know if I like my chances very much here, but we'll do what we can.
We'll catch 'em all!
That's gonna be it, isn't it? In turn.
Yes.
Apparently that's all I can attack. Fair enough.
My prescription, a bit of bloodletting.
You're very bad at card games. Ah! Ooh, passed. I think we might have this then. You'd be surprised, Natty. You pick them up as you go.
There's been a mistake. I'm no mage.
Retreat! Fall back!
Victory! Like anything, let's just put a bit of time into it, learn the rules.
Lyrian hammer and Skelligan stone, Nilfgaard was shattered, destroyed. The victors now stood eyeing each other. These islanders were not like those Meve had met before. They wore no armor and carried no shields. At their fore stood a man as stout as an ox and bold as an ancient ghoul. His men called him Arnulf, the Patricide.
I thank you for your aid, Arnulf,
said Meve, extending a hand.
Aid, she says. Aid? Do you hear that, mates?
The Skelligers exchanged glances, then erupted in roaring laughter.
Not here to help yous, not at all. We're after killing.
Join me and you shall have your fill.
Join nuisance? Just who the hell are you?
Meve, Queen of Rivia and Lyria.
Meve?
Arnulf said, his tone sobering.
I know the name. Lippy Goodman called ye bold, praised your courage to the high heaven. So be it. We'll follow ye into fire, wench. Just let us taste of blood. Grant us a death worthy of heroes.
Meve couldn't help but smile, then nodded to accept. The Lyrians stepped aside as tattooed warriors joined their ranks.
The Skelligans have what sounds to me like Northern Irish accents. Arnulf, the Patricide. Dagger Two Blades. Disgraced Brawler. Disgraced Warrior. Okay, we'll look at these cards and see what's what. So technically you could actually skip around that encounter and not got any of that stuff. What are we going for? Probably this 6,000 gold. Yikes. Yeah, we'll do the 6,000 gold one. Screw it, it'll take a while, but why not? No, not that. That. So let's look at these new cards we got and see what's what. Okay, not worried about him. Damage self and two enemies by 3. Not super worried about using that either. Where's the archery one that looked kind of good? The one with the bear. Okay, so that one's deploy all Skellige units from your graveyard. Damage an enemy by the total number of enemy units and the cooldown is 1. Ooh, I think we'll get him in. Wait, wasn't there another disgraced one, or did I imagine it? Force an enemy to... Maybe that's what I was thinking of. None of them are actually great or add a lot to our deck except our big boy. I like keeping gas gunning though. Get rid of one of them and we'll put in this guy. There we go. We'll go up this way. There's no doubt going to be something here. Well, maybe not. Ah, what do you know? It's all clear for once. Alright, well, we'll go down and explore this way. But yeah, this game has definitely really grown on me as we've gone through it. Kind of deeply invested in the storyline and what's going to happen now. Which I didn't necessarily expect. Okay, there's something there. Something here. Let's see what's up here first. A wealth of gold. Yeah, we need a lot of gold for the next thing we're doing. We'll take that trade. Mind you, Bastion. I think it's a good graphical style, because I think this kind of graphical style just doesn't age. Like, you can play this in 10 years and it'll still look pretty good.
The scouts rode at the fore, with Meave right behind them. Their task, to find safe passage for the rest of the force. One among them probed for the quagmire's depth, a pole of 5 ells in hand. Suddenly, all heard a loud clang. The scouts dismounted, then heaved a bronze statue from the mire. Once it was cleaned of slime and muck, Meave instantly recognized its elven handiwork. The sculpture was exceedingly well preserved, save one detail. Someone had removed its face, leaving a black hole in its stead.
Search the environs,
ordered Meave. Amongst some brambles, they discovered the entrance to a vast tomb. Its doors had been torn open. On the ground before them lay scattered bones, some yellowed with age, others fresh, cracked and tattered from having been gnawed.
Oh, we gotta enter.
Neve stood silent and contemplating at the tomb's threshold. Then, torch in hand, she entered and waded into fetid waters. Her soldiers followed close, arms at the ready, a nervous sweat on their brows. Frescoes on the tomb walls depicted Angren swamps and the beasts that prowled them. 2 words were inscribed over the largest of the horrors: Gwent.
Gwent, eh?
Suddenly, a roar thundered from deeper inside the tomb. Neve turned from the frescoes to see monstrous eyes blazing in the dark.
Well, of course. $250. Uh-oh. That's a lot of health.
To me! We'll not die this day!
Aye.
Ha!
Are you mad? Don't shake that!
Ah, should have listened to me, old lady.
Ha!
The chase is on!
Blood washes away all shame!
Okay, we're wearing them down a bit. I don't know if it's enough.
I think that's the last of them. But keep your
Okay.
weapons at the ready.
We got him. We got him.
In her torch's feeble glow, the queen examined the beast's corpse. She could not help but to shudder in disgust.
Perhaps it's better
She thought.
that we faced it in the dark.
At the corridor's end, they found a closed door. Before any could draw near, it opened with a crash. Beyond lay a circular room. Light shone through a hole in the chamber's ceiling, illuminating a stone pedestal and the sword that lay upon it.
The air in here, it crackles with magic,
whispered Isbel. Maeve gripped the blade's hilt. A soothing warmth filled her arms and spread across her shoulders. Her tired muscles ceased trembling. Her fingers, stiff as sticks, relaxed. She brandished her prize, the air hissing as the blade sliced through it. She then nodded approvingly. The reward had been worth the risk.
Maeve and Grainy Blade. Let's see what the hell we got. Looks like a banner card. I don't see it. The hell? Yep. Oh, here it is. We switch here. Boost an ally before give us then trigger all. Yeah. Shove an ally into the deck and play 2 cards from your deck, then trigger all allies. Nah, we'll stick with this one. Most of my strats are built around the one I have. Ooh, that's a lot of gold. A lot of gold again. Okay, that's 6,000 that we're saving up for. Seems less far away than it did. This is good. Oh, treasure. Give me treasure. Okay, we're heading back up to there. Need to explore all around in there and up there. We have a bit to do yet before we're moving on. And this is background, we got this thing already. Well, that's a Nilfgaardian camp. We'll take that out, we can do it later. They're not going anywhere, I'm sure. We'll go up here and get whatever's up here first. Local peasant by the name of Gossamir has requested an audience. Says he's found a curious object in the Elven ruins. Claims it emits a magical aura of some sort. Cannot vouch for truth in his word, but the man seems sort in an aura of hooch. They wish to buy this so-called artifact. 50 gold. Fuck it. Take it. Some of them cards can be good. Why did you to view his wares? Oh, let's take the gold. We'll probably put a short on wood for a little bit, but we'll...
Beware! The bloody mistress despises those who kill her servants. Ugh, we're only winter here. Swamp would freeze over. Kill the skeeters dead. Milady, you've a tick behind your ear. Looks he's about to burst. Beware. The bloody mistress despises those who kill her servants.
Bloody mistress, eh? Oh, we got up to our 6,000 gold pretty quickly. At the cost of some wood and other things, but we'll be okay. Okay, the Nilfgaard camp is there. We'll explore around it. We'll just explore this little bit here, then we'll go in and get it.
Your Grace, the charts say we near Tusley.
Angren renders charts helpless to show the way, I fear. Soon we shall halt to sight our exact position. We will know then if our path is true.
As you wish, Your Grace.
Okay, well, that looks like a little mini boss battle or something along the way. We'll definitely get that far. Let's see what's in here first. Puzzle battle it looked like. Puzzle, special rules, custom death. Okay. Damage a unit by 1, then trigger. Increase the damage dealt by 1 for each unit destroyed by this ability.
One bolt's all I need.
Oh shit. Oh shit. I'm really fucked up there.
Give me a time. Ballista, your command. Armor won't save. One bolt.
If the ring won't come off, just take the whole finger.
Give me a target. Our ballista, your command.
Okay, we failed, but I think I'm starting to understand what the point of this is.
Give me a target. Our ballista, your command. Armor won't say.
Hey, Dark Band.
One bolt's all I need.
Oh god, I fucked up.
Give me a target.
I only loot corpses, except sometimes they're quite fresh.
Our ballista, your command.
I so nearly had this, but we should get that next time. Big shoutouts for the Rave Meister himself, the darkest of all the buns. Playing Dragon Quest XI. Love Dark Band.
Armor won't say.
There goes Thronebreaker. Thronebreaker is phenomenal, Dark Band. As things stand, this is a contender for Game of the Year. It's a really, really, really strong game. Phenomenal story.
One bolt. Give me a target.
That's okay.
Our ballista, your command. Armor won't say.
One man's battlefield is another man's ripe patch for harvest.
Okay, I think we have this.
One bullet's all I need.
Oh, victory! Okay, there's still a bunch of stuff like right around here apparently. Colonel, I entrust you a mission requiring the utmost discretion. Count Caldwell's usefulness to us is nearing its end. Oh, he's going to be dead anyway. It must soon be removed, but in such a way as to avoid causing fear among our other allies in the north. Given the Count's well-known passion for wine and spirits, poison should prove most effective. We shall put the plan into action once Queen Maeve is no longer an issue. It shouldn't be long now. Await my signal. Once I'm no longer an issue, eh? You fucks might be waiting. Okay, that's a treasure map. It's pointing to right around here. Whoa! Big gold. Gimme, gimme, gimme. I think we got into that. Did I have a good day? I did. I've been sleeping a lot. I'm pretty tired. So I slept a whole bunch over the weekend. Really, other than that, I was just hanging out in Violet's stream and Corey's stream for their respective birthdays, and that was nice. It's part of the reason why I'm on so late. I wanted to be present for those. Normally, I'd say, my schedule's my schedule, and it is what it is. But sometimes you want to sacrifice a little bit. Alright, so some shenanigans going on around here. This tree has a big question mark.
The queen amongst them, speaking with her scouts. Suddenly she heard a cry. It seemed a command, and indeed all the horses reared, throwing off their riders. Then in a frenzy they galloped into the woods. Maeve too was cast off, and landed with a thud of her ribs. As she struggled to rise, her eyes met those of the fair-haired druid.
One who feeds the marsh gods the blood of animals,
The druid yelled furiously.
is unworthy of beasts, deserves not their aid. Let this be a lesson to you, cruel queen!
It took Maeve some time to gather her wits. Then she sent a unit in pursuit. The soldiers returned empty-handed, having found neither druids nor mounts. The forest had slowed the men's progress, roots binding their legs, obscuring footprints. There was naught the queen could do but bite her lip and hiss a curse.
Just get fucked over in this game every time, no matter what you do. I was trying to respect local tradition. 3 hollow filled with gold and precious stones. Well, we're already low morale, so we may as well grab it. Now yet again, I find myself having too much gold and not enough wood. For whatever I want to do. What is this? We need 2,000 wood. We can trade some later if we need to. I'm not going to worry about it right now. Okay, we'll go up here. Oh, there's a shrine. Good, I can use that to get my morale back to medium at least. The old soldiers loved their shrines. What have we got here? A little village.
Oh, lads, I don't fancy tweets, but you're ever good for books, and I'm ass over tits.
Meave and the horseman beside her exchanged a perplexed glance. They'd heard the song clearly, both its tune and its verse. Whoever had hollered it had to be close, and given their diction, rather well oiled.
No, Natty, no day off today, unfortunately. This is a pre-work stream.
Moments later, a hamlet appeared to the Lyrian's tired eyes. A great bonfire blazed at its center. Around it danced peasants, barefoot, giggling, hooting, joyful and carefree. One by one, they noticed the queen. Soon, all were silent, huddled together, children peering from behind their backs.
Fear not,
Said Meave.
we mean you no harm. What do you celebrate? A lad's grooming? Nuptials?
Nay, my lady. Hell yes. The gods have been kind. Filled us nets and snares with game. Come time we thank them.
Yes. You've things to be thankful for.
We do, my lady. And we's poor folk. So a queen. Well, you must as well. Your Majesty, stay tonight, feast with us. There'll be music and plenty of rum by the fire.
I'm gonna do it, but I feel like they're gonna feed me my horses or something.
Why not?
Began Meave, daintily dismounting.
We all deserve some respite, I suppose.
The Lyrians needed no convincing. With astonishing haste, they removed mail and helmets, then eagerly joined in the feting and dance. Amidst the trilling of flutes, fifes, and fiddles, all those gathered revelled until dawn. They could rest at last, forget about Nilfgaard and the many beasts that prowled among the reeds. They'd long remember that night. The carefree laughter, peasant maids whirling in dance. The ale cold as a mountain spring.
Cold as a mountain
and the
spring.
bread they crisped over the fire. One exchange in particular etched itself into the Queen's mind. An exchange she overheard.
Not a little? Not even a teeny tiny bit?
I'll say it again. It's not your concern.
Of course it's not. Wouldn't be so damn curious if it were. So be it. Keep your silence. But those eyes like the summer sky, that hair like waves of grain. I see the way you gape.
What do you two speak of?
Reynard's in love with Maeve.
Your Majesty.
Couldn't have answered that better myself.
Who does Reynard gape at?
Ha! The new ballista, what else? Ah, what a piece of work. Pure art, I say. Can't tear your eyes away for an instant.
Haven't you two held enough from me already? Don't play me for a fool. What's this about?
Meave, honestly, you do better to...
It's a private matter, Your Grace. One of the heart, you might say. If you'd allow it, I'd rather not share the details of our conversation.
All right. I'll leave you to discuss whatever men discuss. Consider me gone.
Meave turned and walked back to the fire, sat down on an old stump.
Ha! That was close. Shh!
And the faintest of smiles crossed her lips.
Tex, you nerd, how are you? Thank you for the hydrates and the shirt special. Shout out Tex to the moon! Oh, how are you finding Stray? Whenever that stream was, I missed it. I've been asleep most of the weekend, Tex, but I hope you had fun with it.
Meave expected the villagers to request recompense for their welcome. Yet the peasants made not the slightest mention of coin. and the Queen was much moved by their kindness. Once again, those with the least had proved the most willing to share. The Lyrians did not assemble come the morn. The force marched off in the afternoon, unshaven, unbathed, dishevelled. Not normally one to overlook contempt for discipline, that day Meave understood even soldiers needed to let their guard down, at times.
Woohoo! So we had a fun time in that village, and it seems like nothing bad happened for once.
Admire, admire.
Ugly bad, play us more your prose. Sing again, we'll dance a bit, and then we'll fix your nose.
Interesting lyrics. Alright, I think we're out of this little village. Seeing what there is to see. And what there is to do, so we're probably going up this way to the yellow marker. Let's stank her up. Enemies a little annoying, mechanics feel a little janky, be adjusted in future patches. Yeah, for how successful it is, I think it was done by a pretty small studio, so none of that would surprise me loads. Yeah, BRB, sees in just a moment. We are back, all danked up, ready to go. Let's continue. Let me see. Riddoy? Thank you so much for the follow. You're very welcome to the channel. Hope you're having a good day. We're doing some Thronebreaker, the Witcher Hills. This is criminally overlooked game, I would say. Enjoying this immensely so far. Alright, that bridge is where we're going, but we'll just poke around first. Big fort. Section end? No way. Okay, maybe we're reaching the end of the map, but let's mosey.
In Angren swamps, one can easily lose one's way. Thick fog fills the air, paths end without warning, dense thickets obscure the distance. The sole way to determine one's position is to climb a tree and peer out over the canopy. This duty fell to Meave's scouts, while the force halted below. During one such delay, Meave caught the words she'd longed to hear.
Majesty! Tuzla Castle! Its tower!
I see it!
To her soldiers' astonishment, Meve cast off her gauntlets and started up the nearest trunk. She longed to see the castle for herself, but then she would know sweet vengeance was at hand. The climb proved tricky, as the trunk was slippery and the branches, run through with rot, were frail. Yet Meve showed herself to be skillful and spry. As a child, she had loved to scale trees, much to her governess' dismay. Meve looked out to see a mighty stone tower outlined against the horizon. Legend holds Tuzla Castle was to have had 3 such bastions. Yet King Ragbard, the fort's benefactor, had forsaken the effort when yet another stone transport simply sank into Angren's boggy roads. It was a moment of respite for Meve, a moment of quiet joy. She breathed and tasted air free of the bog stench. She took in silence undisturbed by the hum of mosquito swarms. And she relished her prospects. The coming battle against Caldwell. The soldiers stood exhausted and filthy, many with raspy coughs, all sick of the meager gruel. But with the command to advance, a new strength sparked within them. Their step was lively, a fire burned in their eyes, each hoping to spill Caldwell's entrails, then dash them upon the fort walls. Yet as they drew near the stronghold, perched atop a stone isle, their verve dwindled, enthusiasm waned. They had taken fortresses with thicker walls, taller towers, and manned by more men. Yet they'd never seen nor laid siege to a fort standing on land so ill-suited. To rush the bulwarks through waist-deep mud. Was this even possible?
Yeah, now I'm not saying Darkbond Game of the Year just yet, but I'm saying it's at this moment unfinished. It is a contender. It's up there. The storytelling is just so rich and so good. So good. Shout out for a good friend Noctis as well, who was last playing Fallout 4. Morning Noctis. I know it's early for you, early for me too, but squeeze in streams when we can sometimes.
Keep you at my side,
said Meve, turning to Gascon and Reynard.
A slaughter I must avoid. How will I do it?
Your Grace,
began Reynard.
Set our machines to sling boulders. At the west wall, it's weakest. 'Tis our best chance at a breach.
Our men'll need cover,
added Gascon.
Reeds we must harvest and burn. Smoke will cloak us, conceal us from the castle's defenders.
Good,
agreed the Queen.
Now get to work.
Alright, shoutouts for Header. I did Noctis, I did actually. Yeah, the channel reward is there. Channel point reward is 200,000 points. That's it, you don't need to worry about it. There's no chipping in or anything. I'll just get it. If you redeem that, that's how it's done, how it works. Pay for it with your channel points, nothing more. 14 days, no nicotine, fair play, knocked. What I would need about a month off work. I went, the last time I went cold turkey on nicotine, I made it that long, 2 weeks, and I had 2 weeks off work, and it was actually, it went pretty smoothly as things go. It was kind of fine. Then I went back to work and found that my brain didn't work. I had the focus of a fucking lemon, and I couldn't do anything, so I had to get a packet of smokes because I was just not able to do any work. Which is unfortunate after that long, but yeah, we'll somewhere down the road I'll be able to take a good 3 or 4 weeks off work, and that'll be on the agenda.
Amidst billowing blue smoke, Lyrian footmen rushed through the breach wrought by Reynard's catapults. Though she had yet to forgive her companions, Meve had to admit they'd given her sound advice.
Well, not rules are rules, unfortunately. But thanks, sure. I'm okay. I'm okay with the price. The price is fine. wouldn't be the most expensive one. Okay, so this is a big battle.
Caldwell, I've come for your head.
I knew you'd come. Your lofty pride precedes another dramatic fall. Order!
Okay, but it's a shortened battle, so what have we to do? Oh, well, let's...
And just when you thought things were about to get dark, archers shouldn't be any more trouble.
Okay, turn into... Oh, what did you eat? Okay. The downside of the doggo is it does that sometimes, it eats
Her
stuff.
Majesty knows what she's doing. We must exploit the breach in their fortifications, Your Grace.
Your life is mine now.
It's really good, Noct. Really, really good. I was saying, like, it's probably up there for Game of the Year shout. That's how highly I'm rating it at the moment.
There's a time to reap, a time to sow.
Storytelling is, yeah, storytelling is most superb. Why can I not use my ability? Oh, nerd. Whatever.
Watch your heads!
Wise choice.
Catch!
Of course. Okay, and turn. Let's go with this, I guess. Yeah, the story is really, really, really intriguing. Super curious to see where it all goes. That's all I got.
To the last! Down guard! Yeah!
March on.
Ooh, We dunked their thing. But I think he won anyway, balls. Okay, we'll keep the two of them. We might just go with that.
Caldwell, I've come for your head.
I knew you'd come. Your lofty pride precedes another dramatic fall.
Wise choice.
We must trust each other. We must exploit the breach in their fortifications, Your Grace.
Okay, so interesting. Playing Gascon will deploy the fog, but it won't let me use the ability, is I guess what they're telling me.
As ordered. Your life is mine now.
Watch your heads! Catch!
Okay, in turn. Thanks for the 8 bits, Noctis. Okay, they got him.
Coin never stinks, no matter how rank the pouch. Their archers shouldn't be any more trouble.
Sponsored by Twitch. And Game Pass, of course. Always Game Pass.
Aye.
I normally buy a whole bunch at once if I have some spare cash, which hasn't been the case for a while. Balls. We will have to pass at that. I don't think we're going to win there either. I never get that. I think it's just probably because I'm in Ireland, too small. We got him.
No one touch him. The count is mine.
Many of Meave's victories have been immortalized in poetry and song, but not the fall of Tuzla. Lyrians fought Lyrians. Brothers killed brothers.
Have a good night,
in
Natty.
mud midst a cursed swamp. Certainly nothing to inspire a bard. Near the battle's end, Meave stormed the great stone tower to which Caldwell had fled. The Queen ascended the stairs, dealing blow after blow, blood cascading down in her wake. She reached the top floor to find the Count waiting, with no intention to defend himself.
He's getting executed. I don't give a fuck what he says.
If it's mercy you expect, you'll be sorely disappointed.
Mercy? I know you all too well for that, Meave. Ever vindictive and cruel.
Hey! Vindictive and cruel. Executing a fucking traitor. No.
All this from a paragon of knightly virtues. You stabbed me in the back, Caldwell, and used Willem to do so. My son!
Who agreed without a moment's hesitation? Forsaken by your own son, your flesh and blood. What's that say about you?
Oh, you tread on thin ice. Choose your next words carefully.
He can say what he wants. What are we going to do? Kill him extra?
Spare me your threats. You'll kill me all the same.
See? He's got the right of it.
Death can come in many ways, Count. Some quick, some slow.
My, how you strut and vaunt. Terribly sure of yourself. Perhaps too sure.
Your castle is mine. I've crushed your force. I dare say no, I'm not.
Precisely my point. Don't you see? The Empire's not one army, it's dozens, hundreds. It's what I strove to knock into that thick dome of yours. Alas, you're too much a dullard. Soon as I'd learned you'd crossed into Angren, I sent for reinforcements. They'll be here soon. 3 regiments, armed to the teeth.
We'll dunk them as well. I'll face them too and win.
Nilfgaardians seem ever to have the upper hand, yet I find the means to defeat them.
Not this time, Meave. Nilfgaard comes in numbers. 10 Imperial footmen to each and every one of yours. You'll not win, nor can you flee. Do you know why?
Enlighten me. I dare you.
But one bridge leads to Tuzla. As it happens, I ordered it raised as you laid siege. The swamps around the castle are too deep to cross. Try to rebuild the bridge, the Imperial troops will arrive before you can finish. Your men they'll slay as you watch, and then they'll wring your neck.
I wouldn't be so pleased were I you. You won't live to see this outcome.
This is also true.
I know that, but I take heart in the truth. Though the castle you've seized and will likely kill me, I've won. Outsmarted you, Meave. Twice now. And you know what? 'Twasn't even that hard.
With those words, with his arrogance and contempt, Caldwell had gone too far. The Queen gripped his shoulders, pushed. Caldwell stumbled backwards, then tripped out the window. A blood-chilling shriek filled the courtyard, then broke off abruptly.
Now fool me thrice. Try.
Meave slapped the dust from
He
her
did.
hands. The traitor had met a deserving end at last. Yet this was no time to revel in the Count's demise. If Caldwell had spoken the truth, the Queen and her army were in grave danger. Meave's scouts quickly confirmed the traitor's claim. The bridge was indeed in flames, and Nilfgaardian regiments were advancing from the south. Now to confirm if there was truly no other route by which they could flee, the Queen ordered her men to ask the local peasants. One of their number, a stable hand who'd lived near Tuzla all his life, claimed a secret path led out the back of the stronghold.
King Ragbard himself ordered it built. Had him drop great stones into its swamp, one after another, like beads on a string. Bit of water covers them, so you can't see nowt at start. Can make 'em out if you go proper slow, though.
What is it?
The stones. They lead to Isgith. And there, my lady, lurks an evil worse nor any black-clad army.
What? A beast of some sort?
Some say beast, others god. Gurnikora, they
God.
call her. And you'll yet see, my lady. Isgith shines red with your blood.
A silly tale to frighten children, Meave thought at first. Then paused. For something about the man's voice made his every word believable.
None too encouraging, yet preferable to certain death. Tell me, from Isgith, will we reach the banks of the Yaruga, near Red Lobendon perchance?
Aye, your majesty. You need but head north. And pray all along the way.
Soon, Meave stood where the stable hand had said she should, at the edge of a vast marsh. Carefully, she dipped a foot into the broth and probed for solid ground. Sure enough, she found stone. One cautious step, then another. Meave slowly strode off towards Isgith.
Okay, we got reinforcements. Cool. Kill Count Caldwell. Nice. We got an achievement. So we still are on this map. Thought we would be alright. Our next main story thing is the way up there. Well, we'll keep going for a bit anyway and see what we got. It's not going to be a super long stream today because I will have to stop for work at a point.
With
But
the path to Isgith hidden from view, Meave
we can do a bit
proceeded
more
like
for
one
sure.
blind, moving solely by touch. With each step, she could not know if she would find rock or plunge beneath the black water's surface. The Queen's soldiers followed single file, carefully mirroring her every move. The Lyrians, near the end of their strength, got lucky when a light breeze dispersed the fog to reveal dry land. The Queen let out a sigh of relief.
At last.
Meave kicked off her boots to empty them of water and mud, then promptly screamed. Her legs were in leeches, slimy, bloated leeches. Ignoring the pain and trickling blood, she frantically tore them from her legs, wishing to be rid of them. Having plucked the last parasite from her calf, Meave grabbed her boot to crush the bloodsucker beneath her heel. Yet it had already slithered off. She spotted it on the trunk of a birch where, like a very fast snail, it was climbing.
What the devils?
But Meave's words caught in her throat. Leeches and ticks in the dozens dangled from the tree's branches. Some were so gorged on blood that their skin was translucent and on the point of bursting. Meave had some difficulty muting the urge to retch.
The fruit of Isgith,
she muttered, now savvy to the peasants' warnings, understanding why they never ventured into these marshes.
Look at it. Fruit of Isgith, indeed. Oh, it's cool, it's on all of them. It's a nice little detail. Kinda gross, but nice. Mosey around, get our resources. Oh, puzzle battle. I think we'll explore up the way before down the way. Let's do this, whatever it is. Oh, this is a standard battle. Okay. So we'll try do our usual, win the first round, throw the second round. That'll do. Bad morale as well, of course, which always a wonderful help.
Aye.
Oh, not these assholes. Them guys are literally the worst.
I smell a leak.
Just to do that. That's annoying.
You mad? Don't say that!
Oh, they have fast. Interesting. So I would say this round can be won without too much grief at all. What will they play? Player Sightman.
Should have listened to me, old lady.
I will also pass and just take the first round. I'll redraw that. Okay, well, there we go. Well, we're just gonna pass this round anyway. Oh no!
Tell me you jest.
This could hurt.
Medic should all give me something decent.
What do you want of me?
Here's Sightman I will
This
take.
harvest will be reaping black-clad heads.
I'm gonna play it.
Never had you your kneecaps broken.
Oh, who are we gonna play? We'll play these guys. Get them... target something.
Fear not. We shall achieve our goal.
Turnenda. I start stream probably at around that time, Knock, yeah. It's technically my Sunday stream, but it's before work on Monday. Just about in this thing. Turn. I do have to work. I don't know. It's. I wouldn't try to predict my sleep pattern. I can't even myself, really. Okay, well, that's pretty much everything I can do. Just about. Just about. I have a sleep pattern. Yeah, it's normally more like I don't know, 4 or 5 a.m. to like 9 a.m. ish, but I slept a lot of the weekend because I was very tired. Alright, we won! It's easier to go to sleep if you're drinking and doing stuff like that. Conks the mind. Found a wooden figure carved to your likeness. There's a noose around its neck and a knife in its back. Uh-oh. It's deeply troubled men. They say you've been cursed, that the shadows looms over them. I don't want to give up my wood. Fucking increased their pay. Okay, there's some sort of weird monster down there, I see. We'll get them. I want to explore up the way first. There's something we can create for a bit of morale later. We don't need it right now. So I think when we get to 2000 wood we can build something. We have gold aplenty at the moment. Shall we go around? Can we go around? Maybe we can go in up here. We'll see. Nope. Okay. Well, we're gonna have the bait. What have we got in here? A monster I see anyway. Good. Oh, I see treasure though as well. Okay, eliminate the grave hag. It's a puzzle battle. Eliminate grave hag, use leader's ability. What's leader's ability? Damage an enemy unit and all other units at the same power by 4. Okay, and what do you do? Every turn on turn start, destroy the lowest units.
One bolt's all I need.
Oh, I can't attack it, can I not?
Give me a target. Ballista, your command. I'm a one, sir.
Oh shit, that's a mistake. Oh, maybe not.
One boat's all I need. Give me a target. Arbalist at your command.
Okay, we're gonna go all in on bunking this one. Okay, that didn't work.
One bolt.
See, I can't hurt that directly.
Give me a target. Arbalist at your command. Armor won't save him. One bolt's all I need. Give me a target.
Okay. Awesome, I think that's what I want. Oh no! Not exactly.
One bolt's all I need. Give me a target.
Okay.
Arbalist at your command. Armor won't save.
Oh, fuck, that's a mistake.
One boat is all I need. Give me a target. Arbalist at your command.
Really fucked up there. Turn end, it's okay. I almost have a plan, but I keep executing very badly.
Give me a target. Arbalist at your command. Armor won't save him. One boat's all I need. Give me a target. Arbalist at your command. Armor won't save.
Fucked it up again. Even at the start, I think I'm screwing up. Gotta get this brain working. Lunol as it wants to cooperate at this hour.
One boat's all I need. Give me a target.
See, turn into. That was a lot better.
Arbalist at your command. Armor won't save him. One boat's all I need. Give me a target. Arbalist at your command.
Okay, and I'd say we can do this now. We did it! It's another one where I'm just gonna take the victory and not question it too much. I didn't think I had enough to win there, but okay. Day 1, we've established the settlement's boundary and have begun work on the palisade. God's willing, we'll turn these swamps into fertile fields yet. Angren will be the breadbasket of all Temeria. Day 23. I don't understand. The fields you plough one day are covered in thorny vines the next. The sheep are dying one after the other. Seems the rot's already set in before they've drawn their last breath. The rain hasn't stopped, supplies are running low, and we've no yield from the harvest, and these damn mosquitoes and ticks. Day 51, only 3 of us left. Tomorrow we make for the Agora. Good mother of mercy on us. Right. So, these lads tried to set up here and it didn't go well. Okay, so we've explored up there. Some shit down there we wanted to look at, and then I think we're off out this way. Alright, we're into the fight. Vicious fairy chimpanzees for anger and drain the swamp, fill its trees, use the fertile peat-rich soil for farming. It's for this purpose settlers from the south made their way there. They did not, however, endure long. And of guardian peasants' shacks are now lifeless. Okay, puzzle, shortle, battle, right. Gee willikers, ready unit to the right, boots out by power. Let's just start playing. I'm not really super sure what to do here, but we will see.
Bigger they are, easier they are to target.
I don't have any allies in my graveyard though.
I only loot corpses, except sometimes they're quite fresh.
You can try to win them all, but you won't.
Yeah, but what does that do for me? Nothing.
Thing about slings, they hide well.
Use it. Not sure for what just yet, but...
Okay, I'm starting to understand how this works, but we're not gonna get any win this round. Okay, A1 convinced that's the right move to start with anyway.
Ever have a stone knock out one of your teeth?
Oh, be a shame to let this beauty go to waste.
Got any victuals? Hungry like a wolf, I am.
Have it the white of an eye from half a league away.
I only loot corpses, except sometimes they're quite fresh.
Okay. We have enough to take down something here now. 4 trees, it should be 12, which is just short enough for taking down one of them. But we can take down one of these and get a card. It's probably my best move.
You can try to win them all, but you won't.
To eliminate all foes, so again we just didn't do enough damage. Oh god, I have a interesting idea. This is a nonsense strategy, but we will try it. Damage an enemy by 3. Whenever an ally is destroyed, gain 2 charges. Oh, it won't let me. I was gonna say... I was gonna play that on my side actually and use it to destroy some of my guys, but it won't let me.
One man's battlefield is another man's ripe patch for harvest.
Okay, internal.
Ever have a storm knock out one of your teeth?
Be ashamed to let this beauty go to waste.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage. That's 18. So take out this big boy and draw 3 cards. Okay, awesome.
Have it the white of an eye from half a league away.
Damage unit by 2. That's not gonna help me.
Fishing in the moat? Oh, you're dead. It's gonna be a right good levy, big and beautiful.
Can't take it anymore.
Maybe this will burn cards eventually.
Got any victuals? Hungry like a wolf, I am.
You can try to win them all, but you won't.
God damn it. This one is going to be tricky.
Thing about slings, they hide well.
One man's battlefield is another man's ripe patch for harvest.
Hey?
Be
Oh.
ashamed to let this beauty go to waste.
Shit. Put that up. Yeah, I like trying it this way. We're gonna do that again and just see how it goes.
Thing about slings, they hide well.
I only loot corpses, except sometimes they're quite fresh.
In turn. Destroy the highest ally. Play 2 allies from your graveyard. That's really what I need right now.
Hey?
Not this.
Use it. Not sure for what's yet.
Okay. In turn. Okay, so we can take out... We have a total of 12, so we can... Well, we can take out this guy for 2 cards. They're 1 each. So I already got the queen. Did someone else just become the queen when I got the queen? I think that may be the case.
Ever have a stone knock out one of your teeth?
Got any victuals? Hungry like a wolf, I am.
I understand.
I've hit the white of an eye from half a league away.
Okay, never mind. Leave them be. Okay, Sapper, let's
Gonna
go.
need 3 buckets of nails and a tub full of pegs. You can try to win them all, but you won't.
Yeah, stay there as you are. We'll get one more card, or 2 more actually out of this.
We'll get it done in no time.
Let's see what we got. Oh shit, I have to... Oh, we'll get one over... Oh shit, and keep getting them. Okay. Things are starting to make a lot more sense to me now. Everyone? Oh yeah. Cadaverine. Let's see what Cadaverine is. Some weird green goo. That's pretty freaking awesome. I'll take my deck like that. We'll take Cadaverine into my deck. How about that? I think we have enough gold to... Well, we have tons of gold actually. We have enough wood to build something as well. Pretty sweet. Alright, the troops are all in high morale too, so... I read your letter with keen interest. Yggsit indeed sounds like our place. It comes as no wonder the elves surrendered it without a fight. In any case, the felling must continue. Construction of Tuzla Castle has proven difficult due to scarcity of strong, stable building materials. We require 2 dozen oaks, age 100 years or more at absolute minimum. I'm relying on you, Drogovid. Do not disappoint me. You shall see the full extent of my generosity. Okay. Take that, but our morale is already good. He is out of here. That is our objective at this point, is just leave. Get the fuck out of here.
The Lyrians marched in silence, too tired to keep in step with the drums. Suddenly, the wind rose to a howl, and there was a loud crash of thunder.
Blast!
Maeve leapt from her saddle.
We camp here. Pitch the tents, quickly! Quickly!
As the soldiers rushed to unload the wagons, a wall of water came down, soaking them to the bone. Later, they sat in their leaky tents, huddled, teeth chattering, violent coughs rocking their frames. The storm raged the night through, then finally passed before dawn. Maeve emerged from her tent to wring out her coat. Reynard approached, his gait heavy, his face grim.
Your Majesty, several men of the 11th, a dozen or so, sought to flee last night. Sentries stopped and bound them. Now they await your judgment.
Maeve fastened her still wet coat. She knew well why the men had tried to desert. They longed for their kin, had lost sight of victory, perhaps even no longer believed. Yet the marching and fighting seemed destined to go on forever. The Queen sympathized.
We can't go
She
easy on
too was
deserters,
spent,
though.
and many doubts plagued her. Yet she knew the deserters had to be punished. The question was, to what extent? Meve entered the tent where the prisoners stood. Some of the men looked away, ashamed of their deed. Others raised their gazes to meet hers, their eyes red, tearful, pleading.
We won't, I'll try to not kill them, but I'll see what choices I'm given. Can hang every third one, or demote and withhold pay. We'll do that.
You all know the penalty for desertion.
Meve said to the soldiers bound at wrist and foot.
I ought to have every last one of you hanged. Yet, we've come far along a treacherous road. Endured hardships extreme. This I considered against your crime. You shall lose rank and receive no pay for 1 year. Now get out of my sight. Immediately!
The deserters mumbled their gratitude and rushed out of the tent, fearing the Queen might yet change her mind. Meve then left for her quarters, anger and bitterness eating her up from the inside.
Man, when you get choices in this game, they're never fucking easy, they all suck. No, not this one. We can build something. Awesome. What's our next thing to build? It'll be this, which is... I just wanted to see, don't tell me not enough resources. 1,000 wood. Okay. There's a bridge here to a battle there, there's a battle over there, there's some stuff over there. And we're heading on up along this way. Through here, we'll see. We'll need to stop for work, but maybe if I could leave somewhere there, that'd be a nice machine of progress. We shall see. We'll see how far we get, though. How long some of these battles take can be unpredictable. Okay, there's a voice. Standard battle, okay. So 3 rounds. That'll do for now.
There's a time to reap, a time to sow, and a time to die.
This could hurt.
Aye.
Oh, they've passed. Well, screw you guys then. We'll also pass. Screw it. Against my better judgment, I'm gonna try win.
Should've listened to me, old lady.
Normally a mistake.
Watch your heads!
Hey Roku, how are you? Wonderful to see you. We love Roku. Give a shout out. Roku, I swear to God, Roku, I was about to raid you someday recently and you literally just went offline. As soon as I did. I've lost a lot of weight since January, yeah. I wouldn't say strict dieting or anything, but I don't know. Mixture of some exercise and shit. Great, why thank you, why thank you. Take compliments where I can get them all day long. Okay.
Death is only the beginning!
In turn, I guess. Any more progress? I have made some progress, Roku. Yeah, it's a very good story. I think I'm being super slow with it though, but I don't know, what am I now? 60 chapters in. I read like one or two after work some days when I have time, but then I don't always have time every day.
My pain serves a purpose.
Okay, turn... Oh no, well let's boost up. I think we're in really good shape here to win this.
What do you want of me?
We'll see what they pull out of their ass, but... let's go with this. Turn end. Yeah, we're winning by loads. This is gonna be fine. Oh, shit. like wiped out everything they have. Can't really do any better than that. We'll pass. Oh. Okay, we got the win. It's getting all dark and rainy. If you ever played this, Roku, I highly recommend it if you can live with card-based gameplay. These cocoons, there are people inside, judging by their colours and of guardians, I'd say, must have been reduced to skin and hair, with bodies that dry out to innards, however a few let live. What should we do with the survivors? If I could leave them. You never even beat Witcher 3. Well, this will be a prequel technically, but this is kind of where I've started my witchering. I was saying earlier, like, I'm rating this very highly. I'd put it as an early contender for Game of the Year. That's how highly rated it is. When did Thronebreaker come out? Good question. Oh yeah, of this year, for, well, my own personal one. 2018? Oh, hang on, this is a standard battle, isn't it? I don't want too many good cards out early. That I can live with.
Should have listened to me, old lady.
Catch!
Dog. Dog is great, but it has a tendency to randomly eat some of my good cards and power itself up, which can be very handy sometimes, but not so handy other times. Well, they've passed, I will also pass. Just take the round.
My spirit's willing and how, but
This is probably a mistake, but I'm gonna try one round. Let's throw out
What do you
medic and
want
see
of
what we
me?
get. Okay.
there's a time to reap, a time to sow, and a time to die.
I smell a leak.
Let's go. Have a good night, Darkbun. Thanks for hanging out as always. Appreciate you.
Never had your kneecaps broken.
Okay, end turn. Also end turn. Okay, we're a bit ahead. They have more cards though, we'll see. See how this goes. Well, that's all I can do. It's a pretty significant lead. Let's see what they can come back with. Nothing. Good. We are motoring on through the evil woods. Okay, a bridge, we're gonna have a little town section here, and like I said, if I could make it to there, I'd be really happy.
While accustomed to life mid swamp monsters and black magic, Angren's denizens never dared enter Isgith. The Lyrians only once saw signs of a human presence there, when they spotted a group of thatched roof huts amongst alders.
That settlement, is it inhabited?
Meve asked, turning to her scouts.
Impossible to say from this distance, Your Grace.
The Lyrians entered the village, swords in hand, prepared to fight. But not a soul nor a beast came forth. Some homes had collapsed from rot, while tall grass concealed the paths between them. Yet, someone had been there not long past, for fresh ghoul cadavers lay by the well. Meve knelt beside the corpse of one cut clear in half. The beast's killer had been exceptionally strong, and wielded a razor-sharp sword.
More likely to come around.
Meve leapt to her feet. A man in thick leather armor had emerged from one of the huts. Transfixed by his cat eyes, the Queen nonetheless sensed he was rather badly hurt.
Were that true, my scouts would have blown their horns.
The man pulled out a pendant shaped like a bear's head. It hummed and twitched as if striving to free itself of its chain.
Far as monsters go,
he said, lips curling into an unpleasant smile.
Witchers aren't usually wrong.
A moment later, a scream pierced the air. Quickly, instinctively, Meve drew her sword and lunged forth.
A witcher! Off the bed. Have a good night, Roku. Thanks for stopping in. Shorten battle extra cards. Alright. The Witcher, though severely wounded, proved far faster than Illyrian soldiers. Silver Sword was never idle, slicing tendons and arteries, finding cracks in the chitinous armour. Maeve watched on in wonderment, at least until the ghoul howling behind her reminded the Queen that she too must fight. Okay. I could do with a Witcher in my army. Go with that.
They approach! Seems you were right.
My spirit's willing and how, but these damn boots are killing me.
Okay, I wonder if I can use my ale to passively boost his power up. We'll try it. What are my win conditions? None. Okay, just win. Yes, that does work. Awesome. That'll help.
I feel a strong magic here, my lady. Something controls these creatures.
There's a time to reap, a time to sow, and a time to die.
Damn it. Dog eating my card. Okay, we want to get this guy out and
This could hurt.
I'm doing that.
Aye. Should've listened to me, old lady.
Death is only the beginning!
That'll
Yeah,
be
we
the
won.
last of them. Should be quiet for a bit.
Magical barrier. Okay.
The Lyrians emerged victorious, due in no small part to the Witcher.
Thanks for the help. Name's Ivo, Witcher, School of the Bear.
Maeve, Queen of Lyria and Rivia.
Well, well. Didn't expect to see anyone out here. And certainly not a queen with an army in tow.
Evo, do you want to fight?
We're not here by choice.
I bet not. No one plans to pass through Isgith.
And you? What's brought you here? A contract, perchance?
That's right. Hunting a monster.
I know your services to be rather dear. Who could afford a witcher's bounty in these wretched swamps?
Nilfgaardians.
Blast, of course. Preparing the land for settlement. Cull the monsters, drain the swamp, then bring in slaves. Doubtless from the north.
Maybe. I got paid in advance. I didn't see the need to ask any questions.
But did you have to take the coin? Don't you see what they're doing?
Forgive me, your majesty, but seems to me you're confusing witchers with knights errant. We don't fight oppression, right wrongs, or avenge orphans. We slay monsters for coin. And it don't matter whose head's on the front or whose coffers it's from.
This beast you're out to slay, what is it?
Hang on. You mean to tell me you've led your force into Isgith and don't even know what lives here?
Pretty much.
I believe I was clear. We're not here by choice.
Yeah, but now that you are here, it'll take a minor miracle to get you out. Isgith swamps, realm of a truly dangerous being.
Oh yeah, we do know about this.
Gwent, the Bloody Mistress. Over generations, locals twisted the name until it became Guernicora.
Indeed. I've heard it.
So you've also probably seen her beloved fruit, leeches and ticks. You'd all be wise to stay away from them.
This Guernicora, what is she exactly?
Depends who you ask. Elves saw a fallen goddess in her. Never managed to cut her down while they lived here, but they did stem her growth, kept her from growing stronger. As for the local humans, spirit of a cursed princess, that's their take. Deep belief, actually.
Care to elaborate?
Stories that she was riding north to marry a Temerian duke. Whole retinue and caravan got lost, wagons got stuck, everybody drowned in the bog. Quicksand got him, that sort of thing. Guernicora grabbed a root before the quagmire swallowed her whole. Hollered for hours. But there wasn't a soul around to hear her. Leeches, hundreds covered her, settled in for a royal feast. Sucked her dry, drained her to pretty much the last drop. Fear and revulsion so completely overcame her spirit, she couldn't pass into the afterlife. So she came back, revived by Isgith's magic.
Ugh. A chilling tale.
Yeah, except made up, probably. Don't believe the elven legends either. Guernicora's a monster, plain and simple. Extremely dangerous, sure, but just a monster.
The leeches and ticks, you called them her fruit.
It's kinda complicated.
We've time enough.
Guernicora's a little like a vampire. They're kindred creatures. Except, instead of feasting on the blood of others, she feeds them her own.
I'm not certain I understand.
They're parasites, right? She puts them on her body, feeds them her own blood. Then hangs them on shrubs and trees.
Okay.
Ugh. To what end?
To other monsters, they're delicacies. Sweet, juicy, full of Guernicora's blood. Irresistible. Any beast that tastes that loses its mind, turns into Guernicora's slave. So, if your paths cross and push comes to shove, she's not gonna be alone. Find yourself fighting the whole damn swamp.
How are we to fight her? How might she be killed?
Sorry, sharing secrets. Just not something we do.
Not even with those who saved your life just moments past?
Yeah.
We gotta wait till she starts feeding the parasites. She's weakest then. Stand a chance to hurt her.
Right. So we attack only once she puts the leeches to her skin.
Yeah. And when you kill her, if you kill her, any beasts under her spell will weaken considerably. And then, you gotta burn her corpse. I mean it, understand? Burn it.
And you? Will you not hunt her any longer?
No, I will. Just need to prepare. Realized that today. Gotta brew some potions, blade oils. Come back in a few days.
I don't even have that much time. Nilfgaard's hordes pursue us. I must march on.
In that case, wish you luck. Lots of it.
I suppose there's no argument that would persuade you to ride with us.
Your Grace, mutations strip us of emotion, not reason.
The Witcher vanished midst the trees. And Meve simply hoped her soldiers had not overheard any part of their conversation.
Okay, we've got a big monster fight coming up then. Oh, there's a sign there. I was wondering why do I keep going to the map. Clicking on the sign by accident. Was it 1,000 wood or 1,500 wood I wanted? Whatever upgrade I was going to do. 1,000, okay, we can do one of these. Let's go. Which one will we do next? Maybe. Probably won't matter, we won't get to it today. Okay, we want to just backtrack a bit for anything we missed, but... Hang on, I can go out this way? Oh, well, it's up to there, yeah, we are going into this part of the level. Okay, well, not there just yet either then. Oh, I want a bit of a card though. Wyvern Scale Shield. Nice. Let's see what we got. Seeing as I took that hit to my morale. Give a unit 8 armor. Okay. We won't be using that. What's this one? Okay, we're good. Yeah, exit camp. Alright, do a quick scooch back this way, because the game teleported me forward a little bit. Then we'll be good to go on up to the next area. I think then after that I'll probably have to end up, because I will need to finish and do some stupid work. We didn't really miss anything back there. Okay, so we're going up into this section. You see something there. Kinda... I can get into that ravine somewhere there, I'll be happy. I think that'll be a nice place to leave it. And it suits me. Because it's a straightforward area in which I won't get lost.
Caldwell had summoned Nilfgaardian support. Meve assumed they were not far behind. Yet in the unforgiving terrain, a full Nilfgaardian division could not hope to close the gap. Small detachments, however, light cavalry or footmen, could very well do just that. So when black-clad men emerged from the mist, the Queen was not surprised. She ordered her troops to fall in, form up, and brace to defend the line.
Alright, Nilfgaardian nerds.
The invaders stood silent, motionless, and Meve got a closer look. They were slouched, ashen-faced, unsure of step, and covered in sores. Isgith had treated them as cruelly as any. Teetering in his saddle, the commander broke formation. He rode forth and addressed the Queen in fluent common tongue.
Half my men are wounded, the others sick. Your force does not fare much better.
True. Yet we outnumber you soundly.
Indeed. If it comes to combat, you are certain to win. But in this damn swamp, all wounds fester. Flesh is quick to rot. You will lose many more apart from those who fall.
What do you mean, precisely?
Asked the Queen, her eyes narrowing, her head tilted to the side.
We should part ways in peace. There's a war on, there'll be another chance to fight. Perhaps even face one another. But not here. And not like this.
Suddenly unsure, the Queen weighed the officer's words. Their logic was sound, though they could also prove a ruse.
Your Grace.
Xavier's voice came from behind Meve's back.
We can't let them pass. They've done only harm, and they'll not stop and go home.
Alas, I see things differently.
Meve said with a sly smile.
Crush you now, and I'll have fewer to fight down the line.
You seem sure of yourself.
We're not letting them go.
Let me show you why. At them!
Meve gave her mount a lash of her reins and charged headlong at the commander and his force.
That'll do.
We will not surrender without a fight. Your life is mine now.
Aye.
Is that really necessary?
Death is only the beginning!
Wise choice.
Order!
Should've listened to me, old lady.
Okay, we get rid of our archers as quickly as we can anyway.
Order will triumph. It must.
Oh shit. Okay. Big commander nerd.
You mad? Don't shake that!
Praise be to the great sun!
life is mine now.
Awesome.
This harvest, we'll be reaping black-clad heads.
Yep, turn end.
Off to the front yet again.
This could hurt.
Okay, we're in good shape now, I think. Okay, Rex. Literally have nothing.
Scheiß! In! Try! I spoke the truth. You show no mercy. No mercy.
Whoa!
Amidst the fog and dense, gnarled forest, the battle ran its course. When the last sounds of fighting had died down, Meve was not sure who'd prevailed. Then soldiers came forth, fatigued and hurt, with smiles on their lips. She saw they were hers, and only then knew victory was hers as well. But this was no time to celebrate. She let everyone rest, then gave the order to resume the march. A great Nilfgaardian force pursued them. This most recent delay had allowed it to draw nearer.
We had to fight them, like. It was inevitable. Okay, let me quickly scooch back along this path. This goes back to the start. Yep, and there we've been up and around the other way. Well, let's enter here as our next little point of interest. Gecko! How are you doing? Standard battle. Okay. Shoutouts for the gorgeous Gecko.
And the lizard yearns. And he starts to roam his cage at night, and he finds out where the joints aren't tight. Clever Gecko.
Clever Gecko. Oof. Alright, not ideal, but we can work with it maybe.
There's a time to reap, a time to sow, and a time to die.
Doing that work thing, yeah, gotta get doing that real soon myself.
You mad? Don't shake that!
Holes. Oh, we got lucky. Got rid of that damn thing. Sweet. Oh.
Aye.
Okay, good. They give up. That suits me. You know, I always say I'm never going to do it, but I often end up doing it. We're going to try win on the second round. Usually a mistake, but we're going to go for it.
Watch your heads!
Should have listened to me, old lady.
Never had your kneecaps broken.
This harvest will be reaping black-clad heads.
Just get rid of that nerd. Stop stealing my guys. Nerds. Okay, I pretty much obliterated everything they have. That's all I can do. Let's see if that's enough to carry me home. Jesus, this might be close. Oh, we got it. Woo! Queen Maeve has wormed her way through the trap and is now headed for Red Lobenden. You must cut her off. Cut off her escape route at all costs. Should you fail, every third soldier in the unit shall be lashed and sentenced to a month of solitary confinement. Well, unlucky, that didn't work. I think that also means I probably made the right choice in not believing them. Alright, and this is where we want to get to. We get to that little narrow patch there. Don't know, is there stuff out here? Probably not. Well, this looks ambushy.
The Lyrian force had reached the very heart of Isgith. From every branch, vine and shrub hung leeches and ticks by the dozen. Swollen with blood, their abdomens glistened, glowing red in the misty air. Air so putrid it set Maeve's head to spinning. She paused at a moss-covered boulder, pressed her flushed forehead against its cool surface. Her soldiers passed by, pallid, filthy, drained. She wished to say something, lift their spirits, but instead a cough rattled her breast. Suddenly, splashes, all around me in the water, as if a rain of fist-sized drops had begun to fall. The Queen lifted her heavy gaze. Seemingly on command, ticks and leeches dropped into the warm, soupy waters, then clumsily wriggled off toward a dead alder grove. Neve knew at once what skulked behind the trees. Gurnikora, Isgith's mistress. Isgith's queen.
Weapons at the ready!
The Queen roared.
Close ranks!
The Lyrians quickly converged, formed a wall of shields, and crouched behind them. Terrified, they stared as a multitude of eyes flashed open midst the branches, while revolting, muck-covered beasts rose from the gurgling waters around. Neve silently uttered a prayer. Hail, Military, Great Mother, Maiden and Crone, ever have us in your care.
Alright, the bloody mistress herself, let's go. Do you know what that'll do?
Everyone, rally to me!
Oh, I have to eliminate her. Okay, there are my special rules. Oh, she's passed. Okay, interesting. Let's just get some points on the board, even though it doesn't really matter.
Majesty! These parasites! They feed on her blood!
Oh, good. Okay, that's interesting.
I smell a leak.
How quickly the scales tip.
This'll hardly ever work. No, it won't let me do it on them. Okay, we'll go with a different card then. Let's throw down our ale. Keep my guys good and healed up anyway, no matter what other shenanigans are going on.
You mad? Don't say that!
These ghastly beasts can be slain. They can be overcome.
Okay, thanks, nerd. I'm gonna figure that out. I'm working on it. Oh shit. Okay. I don't think I necessarily want these guys.
Everyone, rally to me!
Coin never stinks, no matter how rank the pouch.
Reaches 10 exploding damage all enemies by 3, I see. Okay, that's fine though. We just really want to...
Parasites, they feed on our blood.
Yeah, we just want to turtle up and let them do that.
We'll catch 'em all!
How quickly the scales.
The chase is on!
Oh shit, I can't target her right now. Then come back.
My spirit's willing and how, but these damn boots are killing me.
What about now? Oh, we'll put you down then.
Getting to work.
Oh.
These ghastly beasts can be slain. They can be overcome.
Okay, I do want my fire guys. We can't let them get up to 10. This guy will definitely keep in. Yeah, you I need. Okay, we have 2 of them.
Everyone, rally to me!
The chase is on!
Death is only the beginning!
Okay, we'll go with that.
Majesty, these parasites, they feed on our blood.
Yeah. Calm down. I have another one of them. No, apparently not. Okay.
You mad? Don't say that!
How quickly the scales tip.
This could hurt.
Okay, if they're destroyed, they get my card no matter what. God damn.
My pain serves a purpose.
Oh, that I did not mean to do. God damn it. I'd say we just want one of the rows on fire. God damn it.
Everyone, rally to me!
It's just the back row and we'll start with that.
This could hurt.
Majesty, these parasites, they feed on our blood.
Oh shit.
Scoia'tael! Attack!
How quickly the scales tip.
What can we play? This guy, I suppose.
This harvest, we'll be reaping black-clad heads.
These ghastly beasts can be slain. They can be overcome.
I need to stop killing them. What I really need to do is need to turtle up.
Everyone, rally to me!
We'll catch them all!
Majesty! These parasites, they feed on her blood!
The chase is on!
How quickly the scales tip.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we can weaken them down. That'll be good. We'll throw out an eel as well, and we'll boost up one of them guys in turn.
My spirit's willing and how, but these damn bugs are killing me.
These
Darn.
ghastly beasts can be slain. They can be overcome.
Should have been using him for damage. Okay, there's various shitters fucking up there.
Remember that unwarranted arrogance kills, slowly and insidiously.
We're dead this time, but we can do better.
Rally to me!
Wait, this guy is going to be very important.
A scar? Majesty! These parasites! They feed on our blood!
As are these guys. What did I get another one of them out? But,
How quickly the scales tip.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So can't do that. Can't do anything just yet. So throw out that. Our pike guards are kind of fine. They can just sit there doing nothing.
Aye.
Okay, here we go.
These ghastly beasts can be slain. They can be overcome.
We need to play something. Another one of these, I guess. Actually, we'll put you there.
Ah, should have listened to me old lady.
Yeah. Balls.
Everyone, rally to me!
I don't know forfeit, but we need better cards. Okay, that'll do maybe.
Everyone, rally to me!
The Morrowind drink with our forefathers!
Majesty! These parasites! They feed on our blood!
Push now.
We'll catch them all!
God damn it, dog.
The chase is on!
How quickly the scales tip.
One, 2, 3, 4.
Never had your kneecaps broken!
this eyes, we'll be reaping black-clad heads.
These ghastly beasts can be slain. They can be overcome.
As ordered.
Okay, I can use that to get all the 8s and do them to 2, which should just about keep them at bay, maybe? Give him another one as well. Let's see how that goes.
Remember that unwarranted arrogance kills, slowly and insidiously.
Wait a turn.
My spirit's willing and how, but these damn boots are killing me.
Fuck. Ah, fuck. That was a mistake. We're getting closer. Now redraw the cards.
Rally to me.
There's pretty much... I think you just need certain cards to do it. We need him. Wouldn't mind having one of them.
Everyone, rally to me.
Blood washes away all shame!
Majesty, these parasites, they feed on our blood.
We'll catch them all!
My pain serves a purpose.
How quickly the scales tip.
And turn.
Elven blarney.
Balls. Oh, I
These
shouldn't
ghastly
have let that
beasts
happen.
can be slain. They can be overcome.
Okay, in turn.
Remember that unwarranted arrogance kills, slowly and insidiously.
Watch your heads!
Well, that's it though, I have no more moves left. So close. Hey Jeffy, how are you? Big shout outs to our friend Jeffy. Jeffy is playing Stray Garfield, but Jeffy will soon be playing Shenmue 2, so that's something that you're not going to want to miss out on, I would wager. Okay, good, we got that guy what we need. Take them, actually. This is a pretty good draw. Let's go with this. Back workout. Ouch.
Everyone, rally to me.
Majesty, these parasites, they feed on our blood.
Fuck.
How quickly the scales tip.
Damn it, we had a really good draw, but I fucked up. We need to start again. And mistakes were made. This is going to have to be a very, very, very precise operation to win.
Everyone, rally to me.
Okay, what do we got? You need to go. Okay, I'll take one of them. Keep you.
Everyone, rally to me.
Not good enough. We need to keep withdrawn until we get better cards. My deck is not very damage based, it's more turtle based, so...
Everyone, rally to me.
We could try with that.
Everyone, rally to me.
I don't think it's ideal. I think I have an ideal card set up in my head, but...
Majesty, these parasites! They feed on our blood!
Actually, no, this could work. I just need to remember to do all my things.
How quickly the scales tip.
I smell a leak.
As ordered.
What this? This could be a clever move, maybe.
These ghastly beasts can be slain. They can be overcome.
Really? Okay, they can't get too clever with the fire. Don't necessarily need that. Okay, redraw.
Everyone, rally to me! Everyone, rally to me!
Come on, give me the cards I need. I need to go to work. We need to get this done.
Everyone, rally to me!
Okay, got us satisfied with that draw finally.
Rally to me!
Death is only the beginning! Majesty! These parasites, they feed on our blood!
Yeah, yeah! We'll catch 'em all!
How quickly the scales tip.
As ordered.
Good, good. 1, 2, 3. All wrecked.
These ghastly beasts can be slain. They can be overcome.
Elven Blarney.
Okay, turn end.
Remember that unwarranted arrogance kills, slowly and insidiously.
Oh fuck, that's gonna take away a card. Nuts, I wasn't thinking there. I'm gonna have to do that. And this. And hope for the best here. Got it. Woo! Not exactly as intended, but it'll work.
It's dead.
Beat Genekora. Genekora is wrecked.
Of the battle in Isgith, Neve remembered very little. It seemed a nightmare, its details a haze, the sensations very real. Midst a thick fog, she fought in a frenzy, desperately hacking at the scourge that advanced from all sides. In the end, silence fell over the swamp. Its boiling waters lay calmed. The ticks and leeches were gone, while Gernekora lay among rotting leaves, covered in blood, unmoving. But still a fearsome sight.
Burn the corpse.
Rasped the queen.
And we move on.
The soldier's eyes darted about in a series of silent glances.
The Witcher said to make sure to burn it.
Gave a moment to realize the difficulty. They still feared it. Though the monster's lifeless body lay on the ground, they dared not go near. Were she to repeat the order, they would carry it out. Yet she did not wish to force that on them. Swallowing her own revulsion, she walked up to Gernekora's corpse and set it alight. The air soon filled with the suffocating stench of burning hair and flesh. Sparks belched out as melting fat fell on flame. Until finally, nothing was left of the bloody mistress but scorched bone. The Lyrians resumed their march towards the banks of the Yaruga. They forced their weary legs to maintain a swift pace, and stole no second glance at what they'd left behind.
Genekora trophy. Okay, so we got a new card. Oh, Wedge of Wood too. Let's look at that real quick. Yeah. That's 1500, okay. Okay, Okay, this little narrow patch is where we said we'd leave it. So let's just see, because again the game teleported me up a good bit of the way. Ah, we're not missing anything. Right here is where I'm going to leave it. Save and exit to main menu. We did it, y'all. We did it. That's some good progress for today. You say so myself. We got some decent witchering done. We got some decent witchering done. We're gonna go raid. Let's see, we do have options aplenty. I think though we'll go with the standard A train raid, because why the hell not? Always raid the train. That's what we always say. So the bunk raids are there for anyone looking to avail of them. Let's see, Shadow of Mordor later, Saints Row Tuesday, Wednesday Neo, Thursday to be confirmed. We'll get something in there. Friday will be Enter the Matrix. Saturday Sonic Adventure and Final Fantasy XIV. I think I'm going to get up to Heaven's Word. Not start Heaven's Word, but get up to it on Saturday, which would be good. And Sunday we'll be back to Thronebreaker, which I don't know how we are doing in the story in this. So we'll see. Any other updates, as always, in the Discord. I think you all know the drill. Other than that, be good, be kind, be nice to each other, think about what you put out into the world, make it a better place. I'll see you all later for Shadow of Mordor. Bye!